Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Dr. P. Welcome back to another video. So Fortnite OG has been out for a couple days now, and I didn't even play back in Chapter 1, Season 1. So this is a totally fresh, new experience even for me. And when I got on to play, the first day or so, it was just absolutely amazing. Like, that is what Fortnite's meant to be. You'd go on Twitter, you'd go online, and you'd see people saying, oh, well, I'm dying left and right. I'm dying every second. And that was true. Like, there was a lot of dying going on. There was a lot of death involved, a lot of mistakes. But that was because they had no bots in the entire game mode. And recently, they've gone ahead and added bots. They added duos, which was needed the first day or two. While amazing, the major downside to that was if you had at least one other person, you had to fill in squads, and that just wasn't very fun. But overall, the experience was just absolutely amazing. Apparently, they also had no skill-based matchmaking, so you were getting real players. You were getting real people, no bots. You were getting real people of all different skill levels, just like it was back in the original part of Chapter 1 here. As you can imagine, they made a tweet, which they got absolutely hammered in the replies, mind you. But to me, this was so disappointing to see because I feel like everybody in the community was praising Epic. They were praising this game mode. It was so different. It was unique in the sense that it was unlike these other game modes that had the bots, and every win you got felt like a challenge and really felt impressive. I was getting actually a lot of people I saw on my Snapchat story putting their Fortnite wins on because they were actually kind of impressive now that there were no bots in the lobbies. Now, I don't know the exact number of bots, but I can tell you ever since this update, there have been so many bots, like so many people dead so fast. Like in this one game in particular, there were like 50 people dead within like 2 or 3 minutes. Like almost half the lobby are bots. And I don't know if it's intended to be this way. What I think happened is they probably just forgot to turn this whole thing on in the first place, because I believe there were files that suggested like, you know, this was coming or this was intended, and maybe they just didn't turn it on the first time. But honestly, I wish in some ways it had just always been on with bots from the start, instead of giving us this taste of what Fortnite is supposed to be like and what it was actually like. Like, if this is supposed to be Fortnite OG, then yeah, like, let's get the bots out of here, guys. I want bots, but I want the bots to be like actual bad players and not AI. But I don't want there to be many of those bots. I want the wins to feel challenging. I want to have to communicate. That's the way it was. I've gone back and forth in my head on how I think this is actually going to like affect the player base right now. I guarantee you there are a lot of players who came back specifically for OG like they did last year, and they're not going to like this change. They're going to have probably thought what I thought as a classic player, and if enough of them leave, the people that Epic was trying to pull back in the first place, that could be a problem. But on the other hand, many of these people who played 7 years ago might be in a totally different stage of life, as am I, and it's a possibility they could be upset and discouraged from continuing to play if they keep getting wiped out like 70% of their drops. Either way, that's going to be a hard decision, and you're going to get some lashback there, but I truly believe bots are bad for Fortnite. It was never intended to have bots in the first place, and I believe we went all the way through the entire first chapter without bots. It's just crazy to me that they actually put no bots, no skill based in, and then immediately changed it for no reason. They also did something else that was really not OG of them, which was take away floor loot spawns. What? I mean, do you know the amount of times this early in the game's history I would get on, I would see that golden scar or that purple scar sitting right there, and that was just like the snapshot of OG. In my brain, there are so many big memes that are going around with that very picture in mind. That's just so crazy to me. All in all, I gotta say, I love Fortnite OG. It's so much better than Chapter 6, at least to me. Again, I have the bias, whatever, I'm a classic player. But it's like we started out with the absolute peak, and then immediately took like 3 steps down on the pegging order. There's a lot of really cool seasons left to come. I can't wait for season 4 with the heroes, the asteroid, the meteor's about to start being in the sky here in a couple months. All in all, things are great, and I'm glad OG is permanent, but the bots and the skill-based thing, like, that devastated me more than I probably would have thought or expected. Like, there's a difference in like seeing that it happened and then getting on after playing for a day or two in like almost perfect conditions, and then all of a sudden you're seeing like every other person is a bot, and it's just not the same experience. No matter what way you try to tie it or whatever, or spin it, it's just not the same experience as what we all played and enjoyed rather massively, I would assume for the most part, the first couple days of Fortnite OG. Let me know what you think. I appreciate you stopping by and watching. Be sure to subscribe, use code Dr. P, and we'll see you in the next one.